You know, a lot of people think that getting to the top is the hardest part of being a leader. But what if I told you the real challenge actually starts once you've arrived? Today, we're going to break down what we're calling the architecture of perpetual leadership. This is the system that great leaders use to make sure they never, ever stop growing. So, let's just start with the biggest question of all. What really separates a good leader from a truly great one? I mean, it's not just about hitting your targets or, having a ton of charisma. The real answer, it actually lies in a single powerful habit, a relentless, non-stop commitment to their own renewal. So this commitment to growth, that's our first pillar. And it's all about a fundamental shift in your mindset. See, leadership isn't some summit you conquer and then you're done. No, it's a journey that you are always on. The absolute best leaders, they know their title is just the starting line. The real work is that daily discipline of learning and evolving. And this one idea right here, it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. And I want you to notice the language here. It's not a suggestion. It says it's a requirement. Without this active, ongoing commitment, the leadership skills that work for you today, well, they're going to become tomorrow's outdated habits. It's that simple. Okay, so if that commitment is the why, then reflection is the how. How do you actually turn that big idea, that intention, into something you can do every day? Well, it all starts with a really disciplined habit, the practice of reflection. And look, this is not just about, casually thinking about how your day went. This is a formal process called reflective assessment. The key word here, and it's a big one, is systematically. You're basically creating a structured habit of examining your own performance, almost like a scientist studying data, to figure out what's really working and what's not. And true reflection, it isn't just about hunting for your flaws. It's got to be a balanced audit. It's so easy to just focus on our mistakes, right? But it is just as critical to identify your strengths. I mean, think about it. You can't really leverage a strength that you haven't even acknowledged you have. To get the complete picture, you have to look at both sides of the ledger. So, you've done the work, you've reflected, you have this clear, honest list of your strengths and your areas for growth. That is a fantastic start, but let's be real. Insight without action is just trivia. It doesn't do anything. The next crucial phase is all about turning that self-awareness into real, tangible improvement. And here it is. This is the engine that drives all that change. It's a simple cycle, but it is so powerful. First, you practice. You don't wait for a crisis to test out your skills. You use tools like role-playing and case studies to sharpen them in a safe place. Next, you assess, which is that whole reflective process we just talked about. And finally, and this is absolutely key, you commit. You set concrete, actionable goals for your future, and then it becomes this continuous loop. Practice, assess, commit, and you start all over again. Now, if you stick with this cycle long enough, something really fundamental starts to shift. It stops being a task you have to do, and it just becomes part of how you think. This is where you develop what the source material calls a progressive mindset. So what in the world is a progressive mindset in this context? Well, it just means you internalize this idea that growth is never, ever finished. Improvement isn't some special project you do once a year for your review. No, it becomes your default operating system. You're automatically, consistently looking for ways to refine your approach, which makes getting better a perpetual part of your identity as a leader. So why bother with all this effort? What's the payoff? Well, it's huge, and it's twofold. First, you build incredible resilience. In a world that is constantly changing, a leader who is always learning is a leader who can always adapt. And second, you achieve sustained effectiveness. This isn't about having one great quarter. This is about building an entire career of consistent, high-impact leadership. And that kind of brings us to the end here, but really, it's just the beginning of the work, right? This whole framework for renewal, it's not just some theory for you to understand, it's a practice that you have to implement. And that leaves all of us with one simple but really powerful question to take away. As you look at your own leadership journey, what will you improve next?